swinging strike two to the plate. Urbana will score. Down and it goes into the outfield for Fiskus. She'll get one, she'll take two, she'll go for three, and Fiskus is out at third base trying to stretch a double into a triple.
Good evening and welcome to Ford Harris Park. Jason Liggett with you as we're set for another game of Urbana Girls Summer Softball. They're against Tuscola 1 in Game 1 of a doubleheader here at Prairie Park. We appreciate you tuning in live on our Facebook, Urbana Public Television, or watching later on Urbana Public Television, Comcast Xfinity's Channel 6 and 1096, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and i3 Broadband Channel 6 as we see strike one fired in there for the Tigers. Shayla Burks in the circle for Urbana. She fires it in there for strike number two, and swinging at that one is Sage Staler. She's starting at second base for Tuscola 1 tonight. She gets a hold of that one, grounded to short, and firing over to first for the out. 6-3 put out there for the Tigers. One up, one down. Let's see if they can keep that going. Lindsey Benson hits that one right back to the mound. Burks flips it over to first for the out. Strike one called there as Charlie Vinson, the shortstop for Tuscola, watches that one speed by. Hit in the lower back there, so Benson's going to head down to first. She looks like she's in a little bit of pain. An umpire checking on her. Shook up a little bit, but I think she'll be just fine. That's going to bring up McKenna Fiskus, the catcher for Tuscola. Two out here in the top of the first. A very comfortable summer evening here at Ford Harris. And that one inside as we see running down to second base and safely getting in is Charlie Wilson. A few raindrops here and there to start off this one. We hope that that passes by with that one grounded to third, firing over to first for the third and final out of the top half of the first inning. 5-3 put out there as the Tigers face four batters and no runs across the plate. Tuscola leaves one stranded in Charlie Vinson. But we're headed to the bottom of the first and still scoreless. Katie Gibson pitching for Tuscola 1. And leading off for the Tigers is shortstop Destiny Pryor. Batting second and playing second is Abby Brown. J.C. Owens batting third over at first base. Shayla Burks, the pitcher, batting cleanup. Valencia Canop in center field and batting fifth. Batting sixth is Sydney Uher and catching. Haley Thompson playing third and batting seventh. Mackenzie Brigham batting eighth. And Nazira Reed batting ninth for the Tigers. We'll see how far they get down that lineup here in the bottom of the first inning. The coach for Tuscola is Mark Staler. You can see him catching right here as McKenna Fiskus gets her gear on. Fiskus was the last batter of the inning, grounded out to third. So she needed a little extra time to get her gear on, but coach came out here and got Katie Gibson warmed up. Umpire calls for the batter, and Destiny Pryor going to lead things off for Urbana. That one low and inside for ball one. That one in just about the same spot. Pryor holds off, and it's a 2-0 count. Here's the delivery from Gibson. And that one outside. Pryor draws the walk and heads down to first. Playing second and batting second is number 19, Abby Brown for the Tigers. She shows bunt and pulls back. Tuscola was ready for that bunt and also ready to see if Destiny Pryor was going to try to steal second there. She didn't move, and there's the bunt. And that one bunted in the air down the third base line, and looks like it could have run foul if it rolled long enough, but third base player for Tuscola picks that up, decides to hold it as there was no play at either bag. So runners on first and second now for Urbana. No outs here in the bottom of the first. Showing bunt was J.C. Owens. And unable to stay with that pitch is Tuscola, so runners advance to second and third. Gibson firing one in there for strike number one to even up the count at one apiece. Wild pitch there, and running home and scoring safely is Destiny Pryor. So Urbana strikes first, and they're on the board. It's a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. And that pitch got away from the catcher as well, and running home to score is number 19, Abby Brown. That was a close one at the plate, but she's able to get in underneath that tag, and just a slight second before, and it's a 2-0 ball game. Just like that, Urbana's on top. So Owens still up at the plate, despite all the excitement right in front of her. 2 runs come across to score during her plate appearance. It's a full count here. There's the delivery. That one low and inside, and Owens on her way to first. Always get that question early on in the game. We're streaming live on Facebook, Urbana Public Television. We appreciate you all tuning in. It'll be on later on Urbana Public Television, Comcast Channel 6 and 1096, as well as we'll upload it to YouTube over the weekend. So if anyone's not able to watch the game live tonight, they'll have ample opportunities to otherwise. J.C. Owens making her way to second base here, and pitcher Shayla Burks up to the plate. She grounds that one down the third base side to shortstop and not able to run it out. The first out of the bottom of the first, but the runner does advance to third. So Burks grounds out to short, but advancing to third on the play is J.C. Owens. So the Tigers already have 2 across the plate and a good opportunity to bring Owens across as well with just 1 out here. That one tipped foul for strike number 1. And happy to have joining me now is Joey Wright.
Evening, Jason.
And you've missed some excitement already here in the bottom of the first inning. The Tigers have gotten 2 across the plate, both on wild pitches. And just 1 out here as Valencia Canop is up to the plate.
Well, good to see the Tigers out to an early 2-0 lead here. Looks like Knopp is going to walk back to the dugout there, retired on strikes. And this will be Sydney Uher up to the plate.
Uher catching today for the Tigers.
Haley Thompson on deck as Uher takes strike 1. Swinging strike 2 to the plate. Urbana will score. As the throw to the plate not handled by the catcher there, and make that a 3-0 lead for Urbana.
A little bit of a rough start for Fiscus. A few wild pitches and not able to contain them. That's how all 3 runs have scored here in the bottom of the first. Urbana and Tuscola won in this first game of the doubleheader. Tuscola 2 going to be playing in the second game.
One and 2 count to Uher.
Is this any relation to Abriana, do we know?
Abriana Uher?
Yeah, right?
I'm not familiar
He
with
says
it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Abriana Uher used to help us out with broadcasts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think when you went to school, Joey. How quickly you forget.
That's impossible because I would have remembered her. Must have
she
been.
did Board of Education meetings.
Okay.
Oh, and you know what? Maybe it was just before you.
It might have been before me.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Before your time, but I remember probably during Abram Washington's time and Ricardo Vargas and Stanley. Yeah, because she helped out on a few sports broadcasts as well.
Gotcha. Down goes the younger Uher on strikes, and that'll end the first inning. You know, I was wondering if Abram was going to make a cameo appearance out here at the ballpark tonight. He sounded like he was thinking about it earlier, but it doesn't appear that he's out here at Fort Harris Park at the moment.
I don't think he knows where Fort Harris Park is. I was not expecting him. I think he was just asking to be polite.
Man.
Joey, we felt a few raindrops here briefly. We're hoping that holds off for not just the first game, but the second game as well.
Well, and you know, I noticed a few on my drive over here. So
if it does start raining, I'm going to head to the car, and you're in charge of all the equipment, all right? I figured that out.
Move that into the concession stand, and as that's the closest sheltered area, and then I will also take off from my car. In the circle for Urbana tonight, Shayla Burks pitching to Sydney Uher. It'll be J.C. Owens at first base, Abby Brown at second, Destiny Pryor at shortstop, and then at third base, Haley Thompson.
And up to the plate for Tuscola 1 is Maya Vargas. She started at third this evening for Tuscola.
First pitch in there for a strike.
Another strike there tossed by Burks. She's been pretty good early on in this ball game. She gets her swinging on that one. That brings up pitcher Katie Gibson to the plate. Gibson's first appearance of the evening. Of course, we called her name a lot in the bottom half of the last inning as she was tossing balls and strikes for Tuscola. She gets a hold of that one. It's popped high into left field, and not able to come up with it is Urbana. That looks like Mackenzie Brigham out there in left, and that'll be a single for Katie Gibson.
And so that'll bring up the left fielder Darcy Norman for Tuscola. Norman takes strike one.
It's Tuscola's first hit of the ball game.
And this is fouled away behind us.
I assume we'll see a lot more fouled away behind us balls tonight, as we didn't see too many last night with the 10 and under and 12 and under group.
Taken to the third base side and foul.
Coach Staylor showing off his athleticism out there at third base. Hey, whoa. He's dancing a little bit now. She's gunning for him.
Man.
She must not like her spot in the order or something. I don't know.
Well, she's batting seventh, so, and making good contact here, so perhaps she'll send that one back towards us. Still 0-2. One and two now to Norman. In the dirt, it'll get to the backstop, and taking second base is Katie Gibson.
Riley Skoltetti on deck for Tuscola.
As this is fouled away down the first base line.
Good at bat here from Darcy Norman. She fouls another one off. Like a Kyle Schwarber-esque at bat. He's been known to have a couple of those 13 pitch at bats or so this season.
This feels like this has gone at least 8 or 9 here as the pitch is taken well into left. Back it will go. It will hit the wall. Not even on a bounce, right to the wall.
I thought we were going to have a Schwarber right there.
The very Kyle Schwarber-esque at bat. As that one goes all the way to the wall and plates Katie Gibson. So the Warriors, I assume, nope, no mascot for Tuscola. Tuscola on the board, and it's 3-1.
Nice RBI double from Darcy Norman. Skoltetti up to the plate now.
With Natalie Hastings on deck. So it's Darcy Norman aboard at second. Coach will come out and have a word with Skoltedi here. Skoltedi in center field for Tuscola tonight. Tuscola batting 9 with no subs on the bench, as this is taken fouled on the first base line. So an 0-2 count with 1 out. Chop to third. It'll be a tough play. The throw across the diamond is wide, and that should bring Darcy Norman home from second. It does. So Skoltedi at second herself when it's all said and done, and just like that, the Tigers only a 1-run lead now. 3-2 our score as the right fielder Natalie Hastings steps to the plate. Hastings, this is her first plate appearance as we work the top of the second inning. Inside for a ball, ball 1. One and one count with an out, the pitch. A little high and a little outside, ball 2.
Tuscola doing a nice job of keeping the line moving with 3 straight hits here after Maya Vargas led off the inning with strikeout.
3 straight hits and the tying run in scoring position. Count now even at 2-2. After this, Tuscola back to the top of the order, Sage Staller. Three and two, would that be Staller or Staler?
It is Staler.
Staler. On deck, and then in the hole, should we get a chance to see Lindsey Benson, the first baseman for Tuscola, the full count offering. Chopped down the line at first, it's foul.
Joey, is it your turn to buy dinner at the concession stand?
Oh, man, as Natalie Hastings draws a walk, unless they take a debit card, I've got exactly $1 in cash. He's going to get a Coke between games.
Well, and now you've been roped into buying me dinner, so I guess there goes that Coke.
Plays at third, they get the out. Skoltedi thrown out, and that'll be the second out of the frame. You know, the concession stand here at Fort Harris Park, really, they have a more expansive menu than you would expect for a softball field in rural Illinois, we shall say, on the outskirts here of Urbana.
Absolutely. That was good awareness by Shayla Burks to toss that one over to third to get the lead runner out. Whoa, that one's driven out there to left field again. It's going to plate at least 1 and possibly 2. We'll see as Hastings comes across to score, and following Hastings is Staler. So it's a 2 RBI double for Lindsey Benson.
And that'll bring up Lindsey Benson. Correction there, Charlie Wilson. Lindsey Benson aboard here at second base.
Wilson's first time up got hit by a pitch. She was the lone base runner in the first inning for Tuscola.
On deck, McKenna Fiskus. And should Wilson and Fiskus get aboard, Maya Vargas, who led off the inning here for Tuscola, would be at the plate. A drop third strike, and the throw to first is wide. Trying for third successfully is Lindsey Benson. She rounded third like she was going to try for the plate, but now will hold pat at third base.
And they double-checked on that, and she is called out there.
So they're going to say the call now is that the catcher held on. Okay. Well, and heads-up base running there from Charlie Wilson. You know you always want to just double-check, see what you can get. And in that case, it was an out. So to the bottom of the second we go. We've got a ball game here early on as Tuscola leads 4-3.
Tuscola did a nice job of getting their offense moving there in the top of the second inning as they played at 4 to answer back to Urbana's 3 back in the first. We'll see how the Tigers reply.
And a thank you to our viewers watching live on Facebook this evening. Beautiful night here at Ford Harris Park on the outskirts of Urbana, Illinois. As we hope the rain stays away, we can only hope. There was a chance later on in the evening. I haven't checked the forecast since this afternoon, so I'm not sure if it got moved up or what the case may be. But for now, as the rain stays away, a beautiful night for softball here in central Illinois.
Haley Thompson up to the plate for Urbana. She's starting at third and batting 7th for Urbana.
Looks like the Tigers are batting 11 in this one, Jason, so. See how the bottom of the order performs here. 3-0 count to Thompson with Mackenzie Brigham on deck.
It's Mackenzie Brigham.
Mackenzie Brigham on deck here, and now she will step up to the plate with a runner at first and no one out. Brigham takes a strike. And we'll see if Katie Gibson can settle in here. Obviously, Tigers played it 3 an inning ago, but perhaps that was an anomaly. Could be a little early to tell here. Runner at first and one out. And this is inside for a ball. So the count now 1-2. And that'll run inside, and that will hit Brigham. So not the start that Gibson perhaps wanted to the bottom of the second. Tigers with runners at first and second, nobody out for Nazira Reed.
Reed showed bunt, and catcher lost that ball, and both runners advanced to second and third. So the Tigers got 2 runners in scoring position now with no out.
Potentially dangerous situation for Tuscola here. We'll see how Gibson responds. In the dirt, but no trouble, as McKenna Fiskus was able to keep it in front of her for the most part. And we'll do it again, 1-1. The pitch inside and ran inside, and I believe it hit Nazira Reed, and it did. So Reed will take first base there. Initially some confusion from the base runners there as they thought that was just a passed ball.
I think Thompson's ready to score. I think that's what that was. But bases loaded here after a walk, and 2 batters got hit by a pitch.
And the batter, Akira Buford. And that'll run inside and hit Buford. So that'll bring Haley Thompson in to score, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tuscola decided to call a meeting on the mound here, and they will. So Haley Thompson has tied things up for Urbana. All knotted up at 4. Bottom of the second inning and still no one out. The base is loaded. We thank you for joining us here on Urbana Public Television, live on Facebook or watching terrestrially on Urbana Public Television or on Urbana Public Television's YouTube channel. A lot of ways to watch Urbana Girls Summer Softball. On a temperate but perhaps rainy night here at Ford Harris Park, as a couple of raindrops have continued to fall now. Nothing above a light sprinkle, but enough to garner some attention here as Maddie Byers steps up to the plate for Urbana. And this is to the backstop, and that put a scare into the boxer standing just behind the backstop there. He'll retreat a couple steps and keep on chugging.
Dog, just to be clear.
Yeah, boxer.
No. Not fighter.
No, boxer, the breed of dog. Byers here takes a strike. Count now 1-2, and this is a good situation for Gibson here to get an out on the board. And if Tuscola can put that out on the board here, it's going to be big.
Yeah, I know this is only the second inning, but could really turn into a turning point in this game with no out, bases loaded, and already one run across for the Tigers.
Byers waits, swings and misses, strike 3. And good call for Byers there not to run on the drop third strike, because if she had, I believe it would have been a force out right there at the plate with the bases loaded, because everyone else would have had to move up. Popped up to third, caught, no double play at third base as Brigham gets back safely.
So good contact made there by Pryor, but gets underneath it a little bit, pops it up to third for the second out of this inning.
An F5 for those at home keeping score. Luckily of the baseball variety and not of the tornado variety. Inside into the backstop. Runners will stay put. Tornadoes are measured F1, 2, 3. It's either, okay, it's
yep.
E for earthquakes. Inside to the backstop again, runners stay put. I don't think I would want to deal with an E5 earthquake either.
Probably not.
Taken well down the line to third, but foul. Well foul, but well struck. Taken to third, high, arcing foul ball, and caught. No, did she stay with it? She did, wow. What a play over there at third. A little shaken up there is Maya Vargas, it appears, but she's in good spirits as she gets up and jogs off the field.
Well, the Tigers able to get one across, but they leave three stranded. They had the bases loaded with no out there, and it's a tie ball game as we head to the top of the third inning, 4-4.
Two great defensive plays there from Maya Vargas to in the second inning. So it should be McKenna Fiskus here for Tuscola, leading off the top of the third. And Fiskus steps up to the plate. And we're set and ready to begin the third inning. Oh, and my pin. Down it goes, and down it goes into the outfield for Fiskus. She'll get one, she'll take two, she'll go for three, and Fiskus is out at third base trying to stretch a double into a triple. It was a well-hit ball, but the Tigers did a great job staying with it and recording the first out of the inning, and that's a cardinal rule of baseball and softball. You never want to make that first or last out at third base. Now it's Maya Vargas, who we called quite a bit last inning. Two great plays to end the second, takes it to second, and the throw is in time, 2 outs. So that'll bring up Katie Gibson, Tuscola's pitcher. Gibson swings and misses at strike one, and how about Katie Gibson getting out of that jam, bases loaded jam, only gave up 1 run. Hit 3 batters in a row, but was able to maintain her composure and figure a way out of it. In the dirt, but the throw to first is in time, and Tuscola dispatched without a whimper in the top of the third. So to the bottom of the frame we go. We've got a good one here at Ford Harris Park, all knotted up at 4, with plenty of softball left to play.
Well, and you can certainly go back to the first hit of that ball game, which was a double, and she tried to stretch that into a triple, but had she been safe at third, would have changed that inning significantly, I have a feeling. But nonetheless, it's 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers, and now it's their turn to see if they can get some offense going here and add to the 4 runs they've already scored. Break this tie.
So for Tuscola, when we get to the top of the 4th, it'll be Skoltedi, Hastings, and Staler. But first, the bottom of the 3rd for Urbana, J.C. Owens, Shayla Burks, and Valencia Knopp. So up to the plate will come J.C. Owens. Tuscola meets in the circle, and now they will depart for their respective positions in the field. We are ready to go. Katie Gibson fires in ball 1. Crowd at Fort Harris becoming restless as the scoreboard has not been updated since the 2nd inning. And a good crowd it is here at Fort Harris Park. Lots of family, I presume, and friends as well have come out to watch their family and friends play here at the ballpark. Take away these light raindrops. It's a beautiful night for softball. Nice temperature, mid-70s. Low 70s even, perhaps, somewhere in that neighborhood. Owens looks at a strike.
Even with the light raindrops, a little bit more enjoyable than last night's weather. It was windy for that first game we called, and then temperatures dropped quite a bit for the second game as well.
Owens sees strike 3 in the dirt and heads up base running as she takes first base. So that'll bring up Shayla Burks, the pitcher for Urbana. And much like Katie Gibson, she has also pitched well in this one. Takes one to center. It'll fall. Kicked off the glove of Riley Skoltedi, and to third goes JC Owens. Owens will look for the plate. She's safe. The Tigers have a lead.
So an RBI triple there from Shayla. She got a hold of that ball. She's 1 for 2 on the evening, grounded out in the first, and a big triple here in the third.
And that'll bring up Valencia Knopp, who struck out in the second inning. Takes it to short, and the throw is in time. But, more importantly, that'll bring home a run. Shayla Burks in to score. And the Tigers back out ahead by 2, 6-4. So Sydney Uher up, struck out 1 inning ago. Down 0-1, now drops down a bunt, but it'll go foul. So we'll see if she elects to bunt once more. Now down 0-2. 1 out and nobody on. Fouls this one off to the backstop. We'll do it again. The 0-2 inside ball 1. The 1-2 is going to be inside for ball 2. Tuscola coached by Mark Staler, while the Urbana dugout manned by Billy Harmon. Down goes Uher on strikes for the second time tonight, and that will bring up Haley Thompson with 2 away and nobody on.
Thompson drew the walk last inning to get on base. See what happens this go-round for the Tigers. That one inside.
So a 1-0 count to Thompson. Thompson swings, lines this one into right field. It will fall off the glove of Natalie Hastings, and sticking it first is Thompson.
Good contact there from Thompson. I was worried as that ball pretty much went right to the right fielder there for Tuscola, but she's not able to put the mid on it, and in safely to first is Thompson.
Mackenzie Brigham now up, takes ball 1.
So perhaps the Tigers aren't done yet in the third.
Ball 1, 1-1. Back to the backstop, foul, 1-2.
That one climbed a little bit after it made contact.
It
It was
did.
going to climb right over. Looked like it was alive.
Kicked off the horizontal bar there on the backstop, and in there for strike 3. Throw to second, not in time, and it'll trickle into the outfield.
It's the
But
third
that was
out.
the third out,
Yeah.
so
They just wanted to keep playing, you know?
Yeah, you know.
I don't blame them. So the Tigers get 2 across the plate there and leave 1 stranded. It's a 6-4 ball game as we're headed to the top of the 4th. This game moving at a pretty good clip compared to last night's games.
That it is, and last night we saw the younger age groups. First game we saw was the 10 and under teams, and then the 12 and under teams. And these girls, of course, a little more. They've had a couple of more years to hone their skills and develop a little bit, and the quicker game that we see tonight, a product of that. As we approach the top of the fourth inning for Tuscola. And it will be Riley Skoltedi, Natalie Hastings, and Sage Staler.
Yeah, so we're streaming live on Urbana Public Television on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you can stream us live on Urbana Public Television.
To shortstop is Hastings. Throw across the diamond, and check that was Skoltedi, who took it to short and was thrown out there for the first out of the fourth inning. So the old 6-3 put out here to start the fourth. And now it's Natalie Hastings, the right fielder for Tuscola. Hastings now the 1-1. And she takes one well into right center field. It'll fall for a base hit. Tigers will quickly get to it. And I thought that was Valencia Knopp. I double-checked to confirm that it is out there in center field. Knopp, is it? Well, we had a kid in sports camp last week with the same last name, and they said Knopp, and I thought they were mispronouncing their own name. So now I see that I've been corrected. But Valencia Knopp out there in center for the Tigers tonight. Oh, off at Hastings tried to take second there. She'll get it because it was thrown into the outfield, but some confusion there.
Well, the Tigers definitely had her gunned down, but that throw just a little bit high over the head of the fielder out there at second base.
This is taken into the outfield. It'll fall. No throw to third. Skoltedi's in safely.
There's probably an opportunity for Skoltedi to score right there, but I guess with just one out, runners on the corners, they're hopeful that she'll get around anyway.
Fouled off the backstop. This is Sage Staler. Now 0-2. Chopped too short, should score a run. Throw goes to second, where Hastings is safe.
So safe all around, unfortunately for Urbana.
So Staler aboard at first here. And folks, I do owe our viewers an apology. The leadoff batter of this inning was Darcy Norman, as Lindsey Benson aboard with the base hit. So it was Darcy Norman who led off with a ground out to short, and then Riley Skoltedi got aboard at first. Natalie Hastings, Staler, and now Lindsey Benson loads the bases for Charlie Wilson. Wilson struck out in the second inning. 0 for 1, entering her next at-bat.
So just a one-run ball game here in the top of the fourth with bases loaded and one out. Wilson at the plate. Hit by a pitch back in the first and struck out in the second.
Two and one. To the ground at first, it's foul. Two and two account. And that 2-2 offering outside.
Full count. We'll see what Burks comes up with here for Urbana. Here's the 3-2 delivery.
Swing and a miss. Huge strikeout for Burks. 2 away now for Tuscola for McKenna Fiskus.
And that's just what we wanted there from Burks. She answers the call. Just one more out to escape this inning and retain the lead for Urbana.
Strike one is in there. Second offering also in there for a called strike two. So now 0-2 with 2 outs. McKenna Fiskus has to battle back. Takes one hard to third and it's gloved. And the play is made. Urbana will escape. Heads up play at third base from Haley Thompson.
That was a pretty well-hit ground ball over there. Could definitely see someone bobbling that, but Haley put a glove on that like the pro and stepped right on third for the third and final out of the top of the fourth. So the Tigers retain their one-run lead as we're headed to the bottom. It's a 6-5 ball game. Jason Liggett and Joey Wright with you at Ford Harris Park here in Urbana.
As the rain looks like it's staying away for now, it really is a beautiful night here at the ballpark. Not too warm, not too cool, just right.
Nazira Reed due up for Urbana.
What's that children's story about the porridge? Just right.
Goldilocks?
Goldilocks, I think.
No, it is Goldilocks.
Okay.
I said it questioning you because I couldn't believe you didn't know it. Yeah, Goldilocks.
Man, and now people are looking at me like, well.
They want to know where you're going with it.
Well,
I do too.
Because that is what I had said to describe the temperature there. But,
it's just right.
Just
like
right.
The
yeah, just like,
weather's just like the porridge, huh, Joey?
Man. But a beautiful night here at Fort Harris. Man. And a quickly moving game here as we are already in the bottom of the fourth inning. This game got going at 6 o'clock. Game got going about 6 o'clock, so 53 minutes into this one now, as it's now 6:53. And for Urbana, it should be Nazira Reed taking strike number one. Reed in left field for the Tigers in this one, along with Mackenzie Brigham. In there for a ball, 1-1. Or, well, out of there for a ball, 1-1. Now 2-1.
Reed hit by a pitch in her only plate appearance this evening. She looks at strike number 2 to even things up at 2 apiece.
Outside for ball 3, and the count runs full 3-2. On deck, Kyra Buford. Reed will draw a walk. To first she goes, and now Buford, who was hit by a pitch in her last time up. A chance with one on and nobody out. And I should note that Brigham was also hit by a pitch in her last time up, now standing at first. Mackenzie Brigham, Nazira Reed, and Kyra Buford. It's Nazira Reed at first base, not Brigham, but Brigham, Reed, and Buford were all hit by pitches their last time up. So the bottom of the order has been some trouble for Katie Gibson here. We'll see if she can settle in and change that narrative here. Working the bottom of the 4th, it's outside. Taking second will be Reed as the throw goes wide and into the outfield. Now she'll try for 3rd. There will be no throw. And Nazira Reed now stands at 3rd with nobody out.
Good opportunity here for the Tigers to add to their lead. As that throw high to second and gets away from the fielders there, so she makes her way to 3rd.
Skied to second and dropped, and Reed will come home. There's a throw, but whoa, man, wound up being closer than I thought it would be as Fiskus nearly applied the tag after a throw went wide of the plate.
Yeah, no slide there either from Reed, but clearly she didn't need it. Snuck her foot in there standing up and got another run on the board for the Tigers. It's a 7-5 ball game in favor of Urbana.
Now Maddie Byers, the right fielder for Urbana. You know, Jason, when I played baseball in my childhood, I played a season of ball in 4th grade. I never knew how to slide as Byers is retired at first base. 6-3 put out. I never had any reason to slide. I only got on base one time all season, but
I think that's just one out for Urbana this inning, judging my scorecard.
That's what I have
Scoreboard
as well.
got a little anxious there.
Scoreboard flashes too, but the lone out of the inning was Byers there on the ground down to short. Back to the top of the order in Destiny Pryor for Urbana. It's inside. Pryor will swing and miss at a strike. Pryor now down 0-2. Wind picking up a little bit as the pitch is fouled back. It'll remain 0-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Pryor to first. She is out. And that'll bring up Abby Brown, the Tigers' second baseman. Brown flew out to 3rd to end the 2nd inning. One to Brown. On deck is J.C. Owens. Brown takes a high ball number 2. 2-1 the count. Inside for ball 3. Swing and a miss. Good for strike 2 as Owens now deals with a full count, 2-out situation.
Abby Brown at the plate.
To third and foul. Rowdy group of kids on the playground behind us here in this one.
They sound lively. Well,
and I know a thing or two about lively children at sports camp, I tell you. 3-2. Inside, and it'll be a walk. Brown. Well, I don't know if it hit her or. I mean, the count was full either way, so Brown will take first base. And J.C. Owens steps up to the plate. Takes strike 1. And taking second is Abby Brown, and in to score is Buford. Buford scores. Brown is safe at third, and Owens up at the plate down 0-1.
Well, so just when it looked like Tuscola might get out of this with Buford hung up on third, she comes home to score.
Owens a swing and Owens a miss. It's 0-2.
Owens reached first base her last time up on a dropped strike 3.
And she will return to the dugout, as will both teams, as that ends the 4th inning. Owens strikes out. And the Tigers lead 8-5 with 2 to play. Today's sports camp took a field trip to the Putt Zone Fun Center in Champaign.
Did you get to play, or did you just have to supervise?
I played a couple holes.
Did you show them how to do it?
Yeah, because I just played the ones I was good at. So
which ones are you good at? What?
They have
the really easy ones, or
well, no.
Have you mastered the windmill, or?
It's not a difficult course they have at the Putt Zone Fun Center. They've got one where you putt it through a little loop-de-loop and it spits it out. That's a fun one. They've got another one. I don't know how to describe it, but that's a fun hole. I think it's on the back 9 of course 2.
And multiple courses there.
Yep.
I did not realize that. Just 2, or?
Just 2.
Okay.
36 holes of golf. They've also got a batting cage that I took a few swings in. And speaking of swings, there's a good one to center field, and Knopp will come down with it. That was Katie Gibson. Check that. Katie Gibson now strides up to the plate. That was
Maya Vargas.
Maya Vargas with a good swing to center field. Can of corn won't leave the infield, and it's dropped at second base. Abby Brown couldn't hold on to it, and safe at first will be Katie Gibson.
Yeah, and Abby beating herself up a little bit after that one. You can tell she's frustrated she didn't come up with that routine pop-up. So Gibson at first now, and an opportunity here for Darcy Norman. Norman 1 for 2 on the day with a double back in the second and grounded out last inning.
To third and caught. Might have a double play, we do. Throw across the diamond was in time. Heads up softball from Haley Thompson. Caught the liner, flipped it across the diamond to J.C. Owens. Darcy Norman goes down and Gibson as well, and that will take us to the bottom of the fifth.
See if Urbana can tack on a few more insurance runs here. They're already up by 3. It's an 8-5 ball game. Still plenty of game left to play as well.
And we'll have plenty of time left until our second game begins. At this rate, only 7:05, so it's only taken us an hour and 5 minutes to cover 4.5 innings of play.
And I think that's about average for this age group. I know yesterday the younger ones take a little bit longer.
Well, the first game we saw was a 13 to 14 or 14 to 13, I should say, slugfest. And the second game was a 19 to 4 slugfest for St. Joseph.
That it was.
Ball one as the bottom of the fifth gets underway. This is Shayla Burks, the pitcher for Urbana. To this point, she's pitched well. Takes a ball, 2-0. Side 3-0.
Gibson doing exactly what you should on a 3-0 pitch. Just try to get one in there in the strike zone. She does just that. So 3-1 now.
Taken to right. And a nice play made out there in right field by Natalie Hastings. One away. And Hastings recovers there from an error she had in the third. Little redemption there here as we have one away in the fifth.
Well, that was a well-hit ball by Burks, but hit it right to Hastings, and not much you can do with that.
That'll go behind Knopp. High and outside, ball one. It's Knopp with Sydney Uher on deck and Haley Thompson to follow. This is a pitch outside. So the count now 3-1. ball 4 as Knop will trot to first base, bringing up Sydney Uher.
Uher still searching for her first hit of the game tonight.
Takes ball 1. Jason, I feel like some weather may be on the way. You know, it's cooled off a little bit and the wind has picked up.
That it has. But since you mentioned something about it, if it happens, it's all your fault, Joey.
Oh, well, you know what? I've jinxed things before. And I may have just done it again. 1-1 now to Uher. Safe at second base is Knop.
Uher showed bunt there, withdrew the bunt stance, and Knop barely gets into second. Didn't have to slide there, but it was close.
Uher drops down a bunt, but is thrown out at first. We might have a play at the plate. Oh, Knop's in a rundown. She will get back to third without a throw.
And Knop could have scored. She could have scored right there. Unfortunately, got a little stage fright, stuck in the middle, headed back to third. And honestly, wisely for Tuscola, they're fine keeping her right at third. They could have thrown that ball, gone in the outfield, and given up that run. But we'll see how this game plays out. But we can certainly look back upon that as a run that Urbana could have had, but didn't quite get there. But the inning not over, just 2 out. We'll see what happens here with Knop on third.
And Knop right now showing a willingness to get that run back. Took quite a big lead there off of third. Pulls it back. 2-0 forthcoming to Thompson. Thompson, who has made some big plays so far in this one. Takes ball 3 outside, 3-0. Just joining us, 3-0 count here for Haley Thompson. Tigers lead 8-5, currently working the bottom of the 5th. The 3-0 2-out offering. Outside for a ball 4. Silver lining there for Tuscola is that it will set up the force at second in addition to first with 2 away, 1 extra base where you can make a play. And the new batter with 2 outs, Mackenzie Brigham. Brigham in left field for the Tigers in this one. Splitting the duties with Nazira Reed. Holds off and takes strike 1. So Knop stands at third. Haley Thompson at first. And it's Katie Gibson. Now taking on the ground and the throw across the diamond. Bobbled at first, and that will score 2 for the Tigers. They go ahead 10-5. Mackenzie Brigham took one on the ground to short, and the throw to first was just, it was in the dirt in a tough play. And a 10-5 ball game now with 2 outs in the 5th. It's Nazira Reed. Inside for a ball. That's behind Reed. To the backstop it will go, and Brigham safe at second.
All right, you're in here, huh? Show me.
Taken on the ground to first, and it's foul. 3-2 count with 2 outs. And a runner in scoring position. Gibson in the circle for Tuscola. And it's Reed at the plate for Urbana, taking one to second, and she's safe at first. Holding at third is Brigham.
Kira with a single her last time up. You see Reed hustle down to second base to take away the force out there.
That's behind Buford. Man, there's a storm rolling in the form of this Urbana offense as they now have two in scoring position, looking to build on this rally here in the bottom of the fifth. To the backstop, ball 2. Two balls and a strike with 2 outs. Kyra Buford at the plate. Swings, takes one right back to Gibson. Gibson knocks it down, and the throw to first is dropped. Urbana will score a run. They will score 2 as sliding in is Reed. And the Tigers jump out ahead 12-5.
Well, good job there by Buford to not give up and keep running, even though that looked like a routine play there. Buford gets safely to first, and 2 runs across the plate now for the Tigers, 4 in the inning to make it a 12-5 ball game. Meeting on the mound here for Tuscola.
And a good meeting here for Tuscola. You know, they just want to collect their composure and try to record this third out. Buford stays at first here. And it's Maddie Byers for the Tigers in right field tonight, getting her third at-bat. Third base goes Kyra Buford. To second, gloved throw in time. Byers retired on the 4-3. And the inning ends. So Tuscola will enter the 6th inning, needing 7 runs to tie, and 8 to take the lead, 7 to keep the game going as the game moves in to its 6th and perhaps final stage. Tuscola here in the 6th will need some warriors. Though that's not officially the mascot here for this Tuscola team. I do believe that the high school, they are the Warriors.
That is correct. Yeah, high school's Warriors.
Same colors as well, yellow and black. And it will be Riley Skoltedi, Natalie Hastings, and Sage Staler for Tuscola here as we
Well, Joey, I hope the rain holds off all night, but if it had to rain, I hope it decides to start right after we finish this ball game, so we pack up and don't get caught in the middle of the second ball game here.
I would agree.
I'm also, just fine with it coming at 11 p.m. tonight as well when we're home.
After we've played too. Well, either way, Coach Billy Harmon's team will get 2 in tonight, but I believe it's a different Tuscola team coming in to play game 2, correct? Yes.
Yeah, this is Tuscola 1 that is playing right now, and Tuscola 2 will be playing the second game.
Skoltedi down on strikes, bringing up Natalie Hastings. Hastings takes ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Fouled away. That'll be a strike. 1-2. Natalie Hastings. Just joining us, Tuscola trails 12-5 here in the final frame. Do they play 7?
High school, they play 7, so if this is the same as high school.
Okay. I was wondering, because the games we saw last night played
They both
6.
got ended because of time. There's a time limit on each game. Well, I guess the second one ended because of score.
Yeah.
But perhaps because of time, too. It was fairly late when we got out of here. I can't remember.
It might have ended because
but
of time.
the first one definitely ended because of time.
Well, safe at first base is Hastings.
That ball was inside. Almost looked like Staylor was trying to block that when she swung. Fouled that down the first baseline for strike number 1. And there's a ball to even up the count at 1 apiece.
Staylor with Lindsey Benson on deck. Looks at a ball. Count now 2-1. Taken to third, and the flip to second in time. There will be no double play. Out is Hastings and safe is Staylor.
Brown thought about the double play there, though, but by the time she got the ball out of her glove to throw, Staylor already reaching first.
Little high, ball 1 to Lindsey Benson. First, and J.C. Owens gets back in time to make the play and end the 6th inning. The top of the 6th inning, I should say. Yeah, we will indeed play one more here, it looks like. 7-inning game indeed. Well, Urbana Public Television's biggest party returns next week with a new episode. What are Joey and the gang up to this time? Find out next Saturday on The Joey Wright Show.
Leadoff hitter due up in Destiny Pryor, shortstop for the Tigers. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a walk.
Tigers back to the top of the order with Pryor's at bat here. Popped up. I think it's going to go out of play. It will. It'll hit off the top of the dugout and foul. One and one. Ball and 2 strikes here for Pryor. Pryor down the line, a foul ball. Reminder that our next game scheduled to begin at 8. For those of you awaiting that one, it will be a new stream for you watching on Facebook Live. So check for that at about 8 o'clock after the conclusion of this game. All times, of course, are central. I would say that Urbana well in the heart of central time zone country, but with Indiana right next door to us, you know, no one knows what Indiana's doing with their time zones.
Destiny with a good rip there, but still a little early as that one fouled down the third base side.
2-2 now to Pryor. I believe most of the state is Eastern time, referring to Indiana, but there are a couple parts of
Northern Indiana.
Yep, northern Indiana is
same as Chicago. Essentially, that's why they do that.
Ah.
Much of northern Indiana is considered a suburb of Chicago. So
fair enough.
But still confusing at times. You got to know right where you're going to get there on time.
Well, and I believe a few years ago, wasn't it that it was much more complicated?
I don't remember.
Oh, I mean,
Destiny makes her way to second.
it's Abby Brown here at the plate. Taking a ball. And then there's Arizona. Arizona just kind of does its own thing out in the west. But that's a different thing as Brown has one run inside. She'll take first base. I think it's with Arizona they don't recognize daylight savings time.
And time called here as Coach Mark Staler wants to have a word with his pitcher, Katie Gibson, and the rest of the infield joins him here. See what their plan is here.
To the backstop, and the runners will advance. Owen struck out in her last at-bat. Takes a strike essentially right down the middle, 2-1. To the backstop, it rolls. Safe at the plate is Pryor, and safe at the plate is Brown. The Tigers plate 2. It's 14-5. Crowd now encouraging JC Owens. She'll swing and miss, but it's dropped. But it doesn't matter that it was dropped, as that was strike 2. Drop all the second strikes you want. The runner can't do anything. Or rather, the runners can. The batter can. That's outside ball 4, so Owens ultimately will reach base.
So pitcher Shayla Burks up to the plate for Urbana.
And Burks could end it here if she drives home Owens. Strike called. Lined out hard to left field last time. Or that was to right field. J.C. Owens will take second on the passed ball. Kicked off of Shayla Burks. Count now 1-2. 1-2, still nobody out, and J.C. Owens stands at second for the Tigers, who lead 14-5. In the bottom of the 6th inning, and Burks at the plate with a 2-2 count. Too short. It passes through. Owens will get to third safely, and Burks will hold at first. So Valencia Knopp to the plate with a chance to end it.
Knopp over 2 on the afternoon with a walk back in the 5th. And we see Burks jog down to second.
In the dirt, Burks holds at second.
Popped up and going to be off the fence there.
Looked like it was going to get over, and it almost did. Instead, it's 2-1. High and outside, 3-1. Oh, and that'll run inside, catches Knopp right in the back. She'll trot to first. And that'll put Sydney Uher up. She has struck out 3 times thus far in this one, 0 for 3.
I think she struck out twice. Her last time up, sack bunt.
Ah, okay. If I miss a play for whatever reason, I usually just throw a K down and call it
And hope
good.
for the best, huh?
Yeah. Passed ball. In to score is Owens. Safe at the plate. And that'll be the game with the Tigers up by 10. 15-5 will be our final score in Game 1 as the teams line up for the post-game handshake line. Final thoughts from Game 1, Jason?
Well, some good pitching there by Urbana. Shayla Burks on the mound, also followed up by some backing good defense on the Urbana side of things, but ultimately it was all Urbana's offense that took over this game and drove the final nail into the coffin for Tuscola 1 tonight.
Absolutely. Final score will be Urbana's 16 and under Harmon team 15, Tuscola 16 and under team 1-5. Join us again at 8 on Urbana Public Television for more Urbana Girls Summer Softball as Urbana's 16 and under Harmon team will battle Tuscola 16 and under Team 2. That's at 8 o'clock. We hope to see you then. But for now, thanks for watching Urbana Girls Summer Softball on Urbana Public Television.